The next guest does not think that Ron Klain should be the Ebola czar, and he's got some strong ideas about how to stop any more Ebola patients from coming into this country. He's Congressman Ed Royce, Republican of California, chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, explain to us the beef that you have with Ron Klain as the Ebola czar.
Well, as I explained, I think it is a wise step to appoint a czar. The question I have is why not appoint someone with a background in public health or an understanding of infectious diseases? Because it seems to me that many of the mistakes have happened here because we haven't been focused on the expertise from those who really understand pathogens and can put together a plan that has everyone on the same page. That's my basic concern.
What of the argument that what we really need is a manager, not a medical doctor? We need someone who's wired, who knows the bureaucracy, and can get elements of the bureaucracy working in tandem.
Well, think for a minute. I mean, what we really need is a manager who is a medical doctor, and there are many of them. There are many with a background that came out of the military who understood pathogens or who are experts in this field who also have this experience in managing health care systems. I know some personally, and it would seem to me that that would be the logical inference from that. You would select someone with that expertise. As I say, I hope he's successful in this. I think it's a step in the right direction, but I just question picking someone without any background in public health for
Congressman,
this kind of responsibility.
You've asked Secretary Kerry to suspend the issuance of visas to residents of 3 West African nations. Why?
Well, a visa is basically a ticket, to the United States. It's issuing those visas in the past, and I can think of a situation in 2009 when we had H1N1 flu. We had the influenza, and so the decision was made to suspend the issuing of those visas for a while, for 3 weeks in one of the consulates. Why? Because we wanted to wait until that got under control. And so you've got a similar situation here today where Ebola is a problem. You have people taking flights, and the question is, what can we do to contain the problem to West Africa and treat it there? This seems to compound the problem in terms of containment.
Congressman, if we were to do that, and
Yes.
if others were then to follow in our footsteps, what of the argument that says we're going to bring about the economic crippling of those nations? They won't be able to engage in commerce the way that they do now, and consequently we'll put ourselves in a worse position because Ebola will spiral even further out of control there.
I don't know that that's necessarily the case, because it seems to me that if you're talking about travel visas or tourism and so forth for people from West Africa, putting a hold on that for these 3 countries at this point in time, I don't think is as crippling as an impact as would be allowing this to continue and to have the spread of Ebola into, onto planes potentially. It's because we don't have the gestation period of this, frankly, is a longer period of time than can be easily screened for. So we have to develop some type of solution to these problems and screening and everything else. And what I'm suggesting is, since 100 people a day are coming in asking for these visas, and most of them are receiving these visas, put a temporary hold on that, put a stay on that.
Chairman Royce, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
A lot of ground to cover.